afternoon. I'm representing the Metals Group. We're a group of 4 independent public companies that are shared under the umbrella of the Metals Group. The purpose of the Metals Group is, one, we're seasoned veterans who have had tremendous success over 20 to almost 30 years of career space. We've generated a lot of shareholder value through several cycle runs in the mining sector. Our 4 key companies are Altiplano Metals, Benchmark Metals, Cordis Metals, and Camino. Each of the companies lie in different regions with different commodities, so they don't compete. But the secret ingredient for the Metals Group is we're able to share people and technologically proficient skills across all the companies to keep our G&A low and keep costs low and create a low burn rate so that we're effectively spending money in the ground for results rather than high G&A at each company. Typical disclaimer, just letting you know that, of course, mining is a venture and high risk, but also very big reward. So our track record through the year, you can see there's about 24, 25 companies spread across there. During the right timing and the right commodity push, we've generated some extreme wealth for shareholders. That also includes senior management at the Metals Group in each company. We invest in all of our companies. We're not about salaries, we're about growing the company and creating shareholder wins. We participate in every single financing. We're in bed with every single shareholder and we want to win. All right, so you can see some of the jurisdictions we've worked around the world. We've taken companies from new discoveries to highly advanced development projects and into production. Currently, our focus is in North and South America, where we believe it's a safer geopolitical environment, and everyone has become more risk averse these days. So we're focusing in areas that are prolific, of course, but have good potential, but are less risky in terms of events and assuring that you actually own the ground. A quick snapshot of the companies. Altiplano is a small producer in Chile. It's gold and copper and gold. It produces approximately 2,500 tons a month at about 1.5%. The genius on this little Altiplano adventure, sitting in the audience, but the plan here is to grow from 2,500 tons per month to 8,000. Altiplano's been cash flow positive the last 4 quarters, and there's a plan in place to grow the cash flow and grow it into a significant mid-tier producer. Benchmark Metals is where I hang my hat most of the time. Benchmark is a gold and silver advanced explorer in northern British Columbia. We're fully funded and we're embarking on a large drill program for 2020. Cordis Metals, it's one of our newest companies. Very little shares outstanding. We'll be announcing soon some new projects, but our focus at the moment is review some early stage projects in Nevada. Nevada, as you know, is a prolific region, and it's proven that you can discover and put a mine into production in that region. So keep your eyes on Cordis. And the last one within the group is Camino. Camino is copper and gold in Peru. We've identified some very good copper zones, and there's a plan in place to be drilling here in 2020. So with a little more detail here, Altiplano Minerals, please come by and see us at booth 204. Come visit Alistair. We can talk about the plans here to grow the copper production. We'll be moving from 2,500 tons a month to over 8,000. Requires a bit of a capital investment to add some infrastructure and equipment. But as I mentioned earlier, even at a $2.80 per pound copper price, it's already cash flow positive. So copper fundamentals are excellent. And I think you'll see some strong statements coming out here in the near future once we complete this larger ramp up to production. Benchmark Metals, we're planning up to 50,000 meters of drilling this year. You'll see a snapshot of a few of the drill holes there below, 7 meters at over 100 grams gold and 900 grams silver. There's another one there, 33 meters, that begins at surface, near 6 grams gold and over 100 grams silver. Gold and silver mineralization begins at surface at Benchmark. It was a former producer 30 years ago. What was missed was they were mining smaller 3 to 5 meter zones or veins. We see bulk mineage potential. After this 50,000 meters of drilling through 2020, we'll be embarking on and completing a new mineral resource estimate. And by the way, our larger target here at Benchmark is 5 million ounces gold equivalent. That's going to take a few drill campaigns, but the company is fully funded. It's been supported by Eric Sprott and a big placement in the fall. And there's no need to go back to the market here for more money. We are funded for the next 12 to 14 months. Camino. Camino is situated in the southern part of Peru. A couple of years ago, came up with a good monster drill hole of just over 100 meters at 1.3% from surface down. There's some new targets being developed, but the better part of the story here is we've identified areas to expand around that 100 meters of drilling. As I mentioned there at Altiplano, copper fundamentals look very good going into the future. And we believe that Camino in Peru is one of those that can leverage a rising copper price. And last but not least, Cordis Metals, our newest company on the block. There will be a focus in Nevada with some early stage explorers, but the early stage projects that we have potential for large, brand new discoveries. The one thing that sets Metals Group different across other groups or other companies is we're technically driven. We have a good base of exceedingly good technical, geological staff. We've put mines into production in the past, and we only commence with projects that have large scope and scale capability. We're not looking for smaller projects. We're looking for projects that we can grow, develop, and potentially either put into production or catch the eye of a major producer and get a win for shareholders through an acquisition. Thank you.